that drip, bitch.
Used to hit packs, stood on the block and was moving a snack. Now I spit truth and I'm writing these raps. I follow y'all, how was y'all, he coming back. All of my niggas really changed their life and we sitting in class every single night. Sipping on do say, and we breaking out scriptures that law really get you right. That's the Lord, why did he save me? Crack, baby, born in the 80s. Used to hide dope in my grandmother's basement. I seen that nigga brains all on the pavement. Block 32 with a switch and a laser. I was down bad with an 8-ball scale and a razor. I came out the struggle, I finally made it. I counted these blessings, I'm never complaining. Kid soldier, they give me your orders, they corner on corner, I do what I'm told. Nothing my crown, I'ma be fly as a bitch. You know I'ma dip it in gold. They call me Batak, so that mean I'm bold. Came out the block, used to beat at the pot, then hit all the fiends in the holes. I chased the money, was losing my soul. Used to hit packs, stood on the block and was moving a snack. Now I spit truth and I'm writing these raps. I follow y'all, how was y'all, he coming back. All of my niggas really changed their life and we sitting in class every single night. Sipping on do say, and we breaking out scriptures that law really get you right.
Only the real ones call me ruler. Got 50 round steel drum in a Ruger. I say go kill one of my shooter. He say I owe you like a sooner. Hey yo, talk, tell me why they testing me. Used to get guap, weed and ecstasy. I'm out the kitchen, still with the recipe. I'm in the truth, building a legacy. I keep a couple shooters with a tech of 3. If you ain't over me, then you ain't checking me. I just hopped off the plane of Puerto Rico. Hollers in Quinte and Cinco. Homie, I leave you stressed, it's like a limo. Pull up in any city with a rental. Free my dogs out and get them out the kennel. Enemy trying to pit me like an N.O., you know.
Used to hit packs, stood on the block and was moving a snack. Now I spit truth and I'm writing these raps. I follow y'all, how was y'all, he coming back. All of my niggas really changed their life and we sitting in class every single night. Sipping on do say, and we breaking out scriptures that law really get you right. I was locked down in myself, asking the Lord every night when am I getting out. Why he keep sending me blessings and I keep on fucking up, still haven't figured it out. Talk about behind me, I had to lose my bust me a Yui and then made a right. 40 on me, got a body. Nigga tried to rob me and ended up losing his life. I bought a ticket to Cuba, TSA locked me up when I was boarding the flight. Crackers ain't give me a bail, so I was stuck in that bitch and that shit had me tight. And I had beef with the ops, I put the mirror in the bathroom and made me a knife. I see why the murder rate high, niggas be pussy and shit and they can't really fight. Used to hit packs, stood on the block and was moving a snack. Now I spit truth and I'm writing these raps. I follow y'all, how was y'all, he coming back. All of my niggas really changed their life and we sitting in class every single night. Sipping on do say, and we breaking out scriptures that law really get you right.
All right, shalom. This is Isupk, One West Brotherhood class. As always, we're gonna be here breaking down true brotherhood on the earth for all so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites of antiquity according to the Bible, according to history. As always, if anyone got any questions relating to the topic or not topic, off a topic, you go ahead and put them below in the comments below. The brother will get them for you. Police and Officer 1000 Karyaj Bungad. I'm here joined today with Police and Officer 1000 Asha'ar. Big shout out to that brother. You know, today we're going to be going over, man, of course, Columbus Day, Thanksgiving, Indigenous Peoples Day, all that nonsense today in the earth. Because because today, in this day and time, America is trying to wash away their sins and trying to make it seem like they did not do anything wrong, trying to do what they always do and sweep things under the rug. Now Columbus Day is viewed as Indigenous Peoples Day and a day that should be memorized and for a whole bunch of nonsense, and we're going to go over why you shouldn't do that. Right. Columbus, if you celebrate Columbus Day, partaking in it, or even trying to wash over with Indigenous Peoples Day, is something you should not do, right. Especially if you are a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American. Because what we need to do, we need to have brotherhood for one another. The one thing Christianity did to us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is they destroyed our brotherhood and sisterhood. Right. They destroyed our identity, of course, first and foremost, and destroyed our intellect and who we were. But foremost, they destroyed our brotherhood with each other. They destroyed the love we had for one another. Nowadays, a Black man won't even claim another Hispanic or Native American man. Right. A Native American man won't see nothing in common with a Black man. Right. A Hispanic man won't look at a Black or a Native American man as their relative, man, when they clearly are in this day and age, because you all getting treated the same. You all getting beat around and abused. You can't see you're all in the same predicament with the same type of enemy. Right. And you got to ask yourselves, you've been here in this land for so long. and so many other people dwell in this land. The Chinese, the East Indians, the Africans, but they don't get treated the way you get treated. The Arabs are out there in war in the Middle East, been warring with America for about 40, 30 years. Right. And guess what? They don't get treated like that. They get here, get to open up gas stations on every corner, get to open up liquor stores. But blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, you barely get any benefits. You were looked upon as the scum of America, but you built America. America was built on your backs, was built on your bloodshed. They want to look at you like you're the terrorists themselves, you know. So we're going to go over that. You got any questions, you can feel free to post them down below. The first scripture I want can we get Habakkuk 2 and 12? Because like I said, man, it's in the Bible. It's scripture, man, not to celebrate Columbus Day. Columbus Day is an evil day. You know, it's about, if you don't know, the true meaning of Columbus Day is Columbus never discovered America. He came here on a mission from the Roman Catholic Church to enslave the Native Americans. Now, you need any more breakdown on that, because of course we're on a limited time right here. You can go check out our other classes, you know, where we go into the history of Christopher Columbus, breaking it down. Check out the Isupk Reservation channel. We got a lot of breakdowns concerning the Native American brothers and concerning Columbus when he came into the Americas and what his goal and mission was. Christopher Columbus came here on a mission. That whole story you heard about him not knowing the earth was, him thinking the earth was flat and all that, that's all nonsense, man. Right. In that time, in that day and age, everybody knew the earth was round. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. If you read the Bible, you knew the earth was round. You knew the earth was a sphere. So guess what? He and his dumb self went and joined up with the Roman Catholic Church, the Jesuits, everything else, and they sent him on a mission here to find the lost 9 tribes or last 10 tribes of Israel. And you can find that in the book called Lost Tribes and Promised Lands, or The View of the Hebrews. I believe it was 1825. And it goes into the discussion of Christopher Columbus's journal. He said in his journal he learned from the Apocrypha, which was the books that the Roman Catholic Church took out of the Bible to learn the discovery of the so-called New World, which is the Americas. So Christopher Columbus came in with a mindset on enslaving these Native American brothers and sisters, the Tainos, the Native Americans, the so-called Native Mexicans, which you would call today the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, all these brothers and sisters, which are Israelites according to the Bible. You know, that's the reason we wear the fringes. That's the reason a lot of them pay respects to the moon, and a lot of their holy days and holidays will go off the moon. That's why a lot of them have so much respect to the land and to its creatures, because that's all in the Bible, man. These are all ways that they lived. They're very big hunter and gatherers. That was all throughout the Bible. The way the natives was closest to the Bible than any white man could ever live. And the white man came here and he used his indoctrination, used his cursed way of using the Bible as a book of propaganda against so-called Native Americans, and not only that, but blacks and Hispanics. To this day, we don't even know it's our book. So many Native Americans don't even want anything to do with the Bible or to do anything with the Bible because of the mindset of Christianity and what came with it, with the slaughtering of Christianity. Christianity was spread with the sword, man. And that's what Christopher Columbus here came to do. Christopher Columbus came in to enslave the Native Americans and spread this philosophy, to spread the indoctrination of Christianity. You got anything you want to say, Asha? You good? Go ahead. We get that scripture.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
Well, what?
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
Woe meaning destruction. Destruction unto him that buildeth a town with blood. Every major metropolis, every city you step on this green earth here in America, whether it's Chicago, Indianapolis, Minnesota, New York City, all of it used to be Indian land at one time, Native American land. Right. The brother we met, one of the brothers we met at a powwow, his chief, man, ex-Navajo code talker. I was just telling Ashai about this, brother. He told us about the true meaning of Wall Street. You know why they called Wall Street in New York City? To this day, it's still called Wall Street because it was considered the financial district of the world at that time, of the colonies. Well, the Gadite brothers was giving them so much hell, and they had to build a whole wall within the city, a whole 10-foot huge wall to defend the city from Native American attacks. So to this day, that's where you get the name Wall Street. Everything happens on Wall Street from that financial district being built and protected by that wall. That's why it was called the Wall Street District. So all this, everything was built on the bloodshed of the Native Americans. Then it was bad enough that they had to slaughter the Native Americans and do all this, but they had to demonize them. They looked at the Native Americans like these brothers and sisters were subhuman, disgusting, call them demons of the night, all these things. They had all these different conspiracies and horrible things that they would say about the Native Americans when none of it was true, man. You know, they did this to paint lies on Native Americans for what? So they can use manifest destiny to their fullest exposure. Like this, where you gotta realize, like if you go look in the history books on why these oppressors did this, you'll go what you'll end up running into is manifest destiny. Manifest destiny is the theory or the ideology, basically believing because I'm white, I get to own this. I get to take this land from you. You know, it's basically white privilege. Because I'm white, my life matters more than yours. This is your land, I get to have it. Because this is manifest destiny. It was made for me to conquer the world. That's the whole concept of our oppression. We can't understand that because Native Americans, blacks, Hispanics, we're such a loving people. When we came in contact with these devils, we was trying to help them. We were trying to give them assistance. They was dying and everything else. Christopher Columbus damn near lost half of his fleet, disease and everything else because of how nasty and disgusting they were. And then that voyage from all the way from Spain here to the Americas, right? So they're over here offering them aid, offering them this and that. And he offered these brothers the sword. You know what I mean? That's how it's always been with us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We've always shown hospitality, even when they went down to the Hispanic tribes out there with the Mexica and the Aztecs. When the Mexicans ran into the Spaniards, they showed them love. They showed them peace. They tried to show them brotherhood. And what they gave them, they came back with all these warships to conquer these brothers, man. Gave them smallpox, gave them blankets infected with smallpox so it would murder them and wipe them out, man. They went and killed the buffalo. On them, they wiped out the entire population of buffalo so the Native American brothers couldn't eat. You get what I mean? Like, these people sought to destroy their entire lineage. You get what I mean? It was over, the brother will explain to us, it was over 150 million Native Americans wiped out during the colonization of this land, man. It was that there was rewards, bounties put on them. Like during hunting season, if you kill a certain amount of wolves, you was given a reward because wolves are considered a threat. So they got to keep the wolf population at bay. Bears are considered a threat. So if you kill a certain amount of bears, sometimes you'll get a reward depending where you at, depending on the hunting club, right, whatsoever. There was a time that if you killed a certain amount of Native Americans and came back with proof, either came back with scalps, feathers, whatever it was, you were given a reward because you were trained, you were taught as killing them was like killing an animal. This whole everything here in America, man, like the scripture just said, I warn to them that build a tower with blood. That's how America was built. So the Lord's saying, man, he gonna destroy all this for it being built with bloodshed. Go ahead, Ashai.
Come and establish a city by iniquity.
And then what?
And establish a city by iniquity.
And they established a city by iniquity. So not only did you build a town on the bloodshed of God's chosen people and destroying the Native Americans, Hispanic, black people, but then you let iniquity reign, which is what? Sin. You came into the Americas and you made blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans seem like the worst thing to ever exist on this planet Earth. That's iniquity. That's a sin. To bring God's chosen people that tried to help you, that tried to assist you, and bring them down and treat them as they were vermin.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Not only that, what else they do? They made all these things that the Lord hates, they made it right.
Right.
They said homosexuality was right. Getting high is right. You know, if you want to abort your babies, that's right. You know what I mean? All these ways which the Lord prophesied not to do in the Bible, they allowing it. So not only did you wipe out the people who Lord gave this land to and chose to set up, you know, and chose as a people, but then you're going to slaughter them, take their identity, and then allow everything the Lord forbid to go on in this land. Go ahead, Ash.
Like it, sir. Even the things like a common misconception is a term that people use a lot is you being an Indian giver. That's been like a term that's been to demonize how Indians, like they at that time during that whole thing with the conquistadors coming over here and stealing things from them, they would try to get it back and they would try to fight for their land back and fight for things that were stolen.
Right.
But today it's looked at as like you're an Indian giver if you try to take something back that's rightfully yours. When that's not what the Indians was doing. They was trying to take back something that was stolen from them. It's not like they gave them something and now they want it back. Like people, you know about the term being an Indian giver. Right. It's just like black men are demonized. That's a way to demonize the so-called Indians.
Right. Now you right, man, because that's exactly how these oppressors view us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. A great example is a lot of people, man, they got this confused about the mascots. When it comes to the mascots with football, you know, the Blackhawks, you know, Redskins, all that. Some of these damn natives want to put back. I don't care what you do. You can put it back, keep it off, whatever. Right. I like you keeping it there because it just shows me how evil you people are. You got to realize how evil that is. That the Native Americans was damn near wiped out like we talked about. Right. Damn near wiped off the face of the earth. They're 5% of the population in their own land. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Damn near a quarter of us is on drugs. Another quarter of us is alcoholics. You know, a quarter of us grow up without fathers and mothers in the home. You know, we right up there with our brothers and sisters, blacks and Hispanics. So what you got to realize, with all this going on, after they're destroying us as a people, then they make us mascots. Not only that, they named some of their greatest vehicles and weapons of war after Native Americans. The Apache attack helicopter, the Tomahawk missile, all these things, you know, the Black Hawk, all these weapons of war. They did this because of how fierce the brutal the Native American was in combat. A great example was the movie The Patriot. You ever seen it? Okay. Movie The Patriot. That cat learned how to fight like that from watching the Gadites fight, watching the Native Americans fight. He over here, you know, because back in the day, this is how stupid the white man is. Y'all go out, y'all got guns, and y'all gonna meet each other in the field and start at a certain distance and just keep shooting till y'all meet each other face to face and then charge at each other. The Gadites were smart. They said, all right, these cats got guns. You know, they got a little more advancement than us. Okay, but we know the terrain. They learned, like in the Bible, guerrilla warfare. Right. They was setting up traps, setting up ambushes in the trees, all types of things like that. They used camouflage. Camouflage, the white man didn't use. That came from the Native Americans. Right. They used to be out there in bright red, blue, you know, yellow jackets, you know, looking like idiots, doing an all green, brown terrain, wearing a bright red coat. Like, what are we talking about here? The Gadites smart. They weren't brown bear skin, deer skin, you know, out here covering themselves in leaves and trees, so you can't see them. And these idiots, of course, finally in time learned how to fight from the Native Americans. They even learned how to win wars because of the Native Americans. You know what I mean? But because the pride and the disgust in their heart, they look how they treated our brothers and sisters. If I could, I do want to get another scripture. The book of Obadiah 1 verse 3. Come. Again, if you got any questions, of course, feel free to put them in the comments down below. It's important for everybody to know this history, man, about the hatred they have for us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. especially our Native American brothers and sisters, because it's time that we realize we are hated in America. You know, when we went to this recent powwow, this harvest powwow, and shout out to everyone that was there that received us well. You know, it was excellent always to be amongst our brothers and sisters. But the thing about our powwows is we look for the acceptance of our enemy. You know, and that's what we got to see them as. I understand we want to love these people, we want them to love us, but it's not going to happen. These people don't have it in their bones to love us.
Right.
You know, they hate us to the teeth, to every fiber of their being. You know, I understand you tired of them hating you. You tired of them beating you down. I get it. But you know what? They're not going to change. But you know what you got to do? You got to change. You got to give your love to your Native American brothers and sisters. You got to give your love to every reservation, every black and brown brother in the ghetto and in the barrio. And then, only then, can you really receive love back? You're not going to receive love from America. America can make all the movies it wants, make all the, try to adjust for all their hatred, all they want, but the hatred is still there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they can sit here all day, call every day Indigenous People Day, but it ain't going to change. They still sitting on stolen land.
Right.
That's not going to change the fact about the Trail of Tears, where they moved all the brothers and sisters from the Midwest and East Coast and threw them all the way into the Oklahoma lands, man.
Right.
They're not going to change that. Not going to change that they were slaughtering and killing brothers so they can marry their wives, so they can possess land that possessed oil, man. There's still people out here claiming to be Native American that don't got an inch of Native in them. They out here claiming to be Native American that they murdered people or bought their way in. It was called $5 Indians. That's where the term comes from. That during the time, that movie Killer of the Flower Moon talked about it. They was paying money to get the amount of money you paid is how much you was really an Indian. If you paid $5, you was worth 5% Native. You know what I mean? So you was able to get your way into the tribe and get yourself some of the oil fields and everything else. You know what I mean? That's why so many white people love to say, I'm 1/18 Cherokee, I'm 1/16 Cree, I'm 1/15 Tama. You know, like, come on, like, what we talking about here? Like,
Right.
you know, I'm over here. My grandma was an Indian princess. You know, all this nonsense they talk, man. You want to know why? Because they was able to buy that land. They was able to buy their way into the tribe because they was killing off brothers. They was
Right.
marrying sisters, trying to make their way into the tribe. They still doing it now these days, man. We was at that powwow. There was so many different white people pretending and dressing to be Native Americans while we was there showing our brotherhood and showing our love for our brothers and sisters.
Right.
You go ahead, Ash, you had something to say?
Yeah, Con, sir, if I could, what's so heavy about what you're bringing out is the fact that after doing this research about the original names, like 30% of the original names of the countries, the 50 countries, a lot of these names derive from Indian descent. Like they have Indian meanings. Like
Right.
Illinois and Indiana, they have meanings that come from the actual native Indians.
Right.
But even with that being said, they not, getting anything off of that land. Like
They're not the owners of it.
Right. They don't own it, even though it derives from their name. It's like you said earlier, they mock them. You know, they got states named after them and after they tribes and things of that nature. But yet alone they got them on reservations and got them strung out on drugs and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So like I just wanted to bring that up.
No, you're absolutely right, brother, man. And that's what this scripture goes into, only if you could.
Come. The book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
Go ahead.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
The Lord's saying right here, the pride of thy heart has deceived thee, meaning the pride that is in your mind, your heart, and your soul. Who could this be talking about? Who is a more prouder people than the oppressor? Than the white man, man. He loves being proud about himself.
Right.
You know, Hitler damn near took down the whole world just being proud to be a white man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Donald Trump speaking horrible about everybody just to get the presidency back. The cat is so prideful. He talking about there's not going to be another election if I don't get elected. You know what I mean? They just show, and they're showing you the pride. And white people are loving it. Why? Because he's embracing the pride of their white hearts. You know what I mean? So the Lord saying the pride of our heart had deceived you. The pride of the heart of our oppressor has deceived them. Of white people has deceived them. They think they can just do everything they want. Right. They think they're the last samurai. They think they're dancing with wolves. Right. You know what I mean? They think they're the last of the Mohicans. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they think they're everyone in this earth because they conquered the earth. Right. I give them that. They conquered the earth. They got the most military bases everywhere. You know what I mean? They dominate, like we were talking about right now. The cities have been taken and they put names and statues and mascots all over the Native Americans. Okay. So the pride of the heart has deceived them. Them that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rocks. Now, I don't know too many people that came from the caves or that dwell in cliffs and rocks, except our oppressor. That's right. I was in there want to talk horrible about the Native Americans. Like the Native Americans were some disease-filled animals when that was really their lifestyle. Right. The oppressor came out of the caves and the mountains or the Caucasus Mountains drinking blood out of a skull. Right. It was in there having sex with their sisters, you know, having sex with children, rubbing feces on themselves. They didn't even know how to wash. That's why the Black Plague happened out there in Europe, because they didn't know how to wash their nasty behinds. Right. They came amongst the Native Americans. They thought they was, what's the word? They thought they were witches. Mm-hmm. They thought they were committing witchcraft because we smelled so good. Because we washed and we wore oils and we knew what to rub on ourselves with the trees and the leaves and the herbs, like in the time of Solomon that he did. Right. You'll find that in the Bible. The Israelites have always been a clean people. We got cleanliness laws. Even the Moors, which were black men during the time of the Renaissance and medieval times, they taught the Europeans how to wash. That's right. Because of their lifestyle that they knew from being Israelites way back then. Right. You get what I'm saying? So the pride of their heart has deceived them. Go ahead. Khan, whose habitation is high. Their habitation is high. They wiped out all the Native Americans, and guess what they did? They built skyscrapers. Right. They built the Willis Tower. Right. They built the New York Empire State Building. They built the big ass bridges in San Francisco. Right. You know, they habitation is high. But go ahead. Khan. That said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's America right now, man. America, you think you can just take on the whole world. You ready to take on the Ukrainians, the Russians, Iran. Like, y'all ready to step into this World War III and get active. And I'm all here for it. Y'all right here saying, who can bring me down to the ground? That's so many of you white people out there, man. You think America is untouchable. Nothing bad can happen to America. America been lasting 500 years, going to last for another 500. That's what they say. It's not going to happen. That's right. Every major empires fell. Right. The Romans fell. The Greeks fell. The Assyrians fell. The Babylonians fell. The same way America is going to fall. And guess who's going to be the one to bring you down? The Lord is bringing you down. He's doing it right now. He's bringing it down with your economy. He's bringing it down with diseases. He about to bring it down in full force when the World War III kicks off. That's Make sure y'all tune in. Commanding Johanna, the Feast of Tabernacles, this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. He's going to be talking about World War III, breaking down what's supposed to happen to America and how this place is just going to collapse in a thundershook. Right. You know, like, you're not even going to see it. Like, these people, they think they so high and mighty and saying, who going to bring me down to the ground? The Lord's about to show you who's going to bring you down. Me. That's right. I'm going to bring you down. That's right. The scriptures say, in an hour, nothing should be left of this place. Right. The Lord's going to show you his power. But for that to happen, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we got to love each other. We got to be the ones that stand for one another. We got to be the ones that show support for one another. We can't let these oppressors, you know, with their pride and with their arrogance bring us down. No, we got to let that bring us up. That's right. They have pride for themselves. They got their arrogance. That's no problem. Let us be prideful for ourselves. Let us love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans more than anything else, because they don't. They won't love us. So we got to love our own. Go ahead. Khan. Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself
the eagle.
Now you can tell Lord speaking a lot of metaphors so you can understand throughout the ages who he's talking about. He said, "Don't do now exalt thyself as the eagle." Why the Lord say eagle here? Because the oppressor is always using the eagle to represent himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's always using the eagle to represent himself in the Assyrian captivity. The Assyrian nation, with the Greeks, with the Romans, Hitler, with Germany, with Hitler, they used the eagle. America's national bird, the bald eagles.
Right.
Spain, the Italians, all of them use the eagle. What is it? Is it the Armenians? There's another one. Yugoslavians, I don't know. But they use the bird. They use the eagle to identify themselves because the oppressor knows who he is according to the Bible.
The eagle has landed.
Come on, how can I fail about that? In 1969, when they landed on the moon, the first thing they said was the eagle has landed. These people, even though they use the eagle to exalt themselves, go ahead.
Carnival Khan. And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
That's exactly what Lord's talking about right here. They went to the moon. They out here went to the moon, sent satellites up into space. Right now, they got a whole space force. I haven't heard nothing about it. I wonder why. They got a whole space force up there training for what? They're not training for no aliens. You think this Independence Day? It's going to be Independence Day, but it's not going to be little green and gray men coming out the sky. Y'all got to get the science fiction out your head.
Right.
It's going to be the Lord. It's going to be the UFO. All them UFOs are really the chariots of the Lord, and they preparing to fight this man. You want to know why? Because they know they got to pay for the crimes they did to the Native Americans. They know they got to pay for the crimes of black people. They got to pay for the crimes they did to the Hispanics, man. How do we know that, man? They preparing all this warfare. They out here preparing to fight the Lord. You know, they've been having a Star Wars program since the 1980s. Like, what are we talking about here? These people know they got hell to pay for. Hell, what was his name? Was it Thomas Jefferson? Thomas Jefferson said, man, I tremble for my country. Because I know we're going to have to, if there is a just God, he said it like this, if there's a just God, we're going to have to pay for what we did here. We're going to have to pay for what happened here in America. And you better believe you won't have to pay for what you did to the North American Indians, man. For the Taino Indians, to the Mayans, to the Aztecs, to the Incas, for all these brothers and sisters that had their lives destroyed. Even to this day, there's Native American brothers and sisters that rule the day that they were even born Native. You know what I mean? That hate the fact that their skin is brown, you know, and hate the fact that they grew up, you know, with these features, and hate that they grew up where they grew up, man. Well, you got to be proud of it, man. There's nothing better in this life than to be a Native American, than to be a black or Hispanic.
That's
you know
right.
why? Because you come from a royal bloodline. You come from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But why you never knew it? Because this oppressor that raised himself high up in the air, he wants to see you destroyed. He wants to see you extinguished. More on that?
A little bit, sir.
Go ahead.
Thence will I bring thee down.
Even though you set yourself high up in the stars, I'm gonna be the one to bring you down. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord.
Go ahead.
Carnival Khan, verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night.
So this Lord saying right here, imagine if there was thieves that came into your house. Some robbers, right? They came in your crib, right? Came in your crib in the middle of the night, broke up in there. Go ahead.
Carnival Khan, how art thou cut off?
Go ahead.
Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
Now this is what the Lord is saying about our oppressor. He's saying about the white man. If thieves came to you at night, right? They came into your crib. They're only gonna steal till they had enough. They're not gonna get greedy. They thieves. They know people are waiting on them. You know, the cops might be coming. You know, they can't leave with too much stuff. So okay, man, just grab that jewelry. All right, man. Just some of y'all that been in that life, you know what I'm talking about. You know, let me grab this TV. Let me grab this car stereo. Let me grab this phone. You know, they see Lord saying, well, if a thief or a robber comes to you in the middle of the night, he's gonna steal till he has enough. But go ahead.
Carnival Khan, if the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Now, let's say someone came, you start picking from your harvest, your corn, your grapes, like the Lord is saying. you gonna leave some still up there. The ones that still gotta grow, the ones that still gotta replenish, the ones that still gotta give life to the rest of the vine, right? You gonna leave those there. But go ahead.
Khan, verse 6. How in that day, Salakia, how are the things of Esau searched out?
Now this is what Lord talking about. He's talking about Esau. This is the way you move. You move like you can never have enough. The Lord saying they move as if they were. If the white man breaks into your house, he's taking everything.
Right.
He's taking the house.
Right.
He's not even going to take your furniture. He's just taking the house, and that's exactly what he did with the Native Americans. Of course, you know, he didn't only had to steal, you know, I'm only going to steal these 13 colonies and leave the Native Americans out in their land. We're going to make this the 13 colonies of America, and that's it. No, he had to have more. Then it became the 15 colonies, the 18 colonies. Then it was 24. Then he bought the Louisiana Purchase. Then he went into the west, expanded into the west. Then he took land from the Mexicans. He was taking over everything. Right. You know what I mean? You want to know why? Because manifest destiny. If robbers came to thee at night, would they not steal till they had enough? Meaning, it wasn't enough you had 13, 15. It wasn't enough you stole from the Native Americans. You had to steal from the Mexicans. You had to steal from the Canadians. You had to steal from everybody in this land. You get what I'm saying? That's what the Lord is saying about Esau, a.k.a. the white man, the progenitor of the white race. That's what the Lord used to identify them as. Esau or Edom in the Bible is talking about our oppressor.
Right.
He's saying these cats, they steal everything. They don't just steal till they have enough. They want the whole chessboard. Go ahead, go down to verse verse 10. Yeah.
Khan, verse 10.
Go ahead.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For what?
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. Who's Jacob? Jacob is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans whose later name was changed into Israel. Lord saying right here that one time Esau and Jacob were brothers. You know, a lot of Native Americans, you know, they claim that, you know, we were all one time brothers and family. We were all one time. We all come from the same lineage. And one time our oppressor was our brother. But he got cut off. That's right. He got cut off for being an evil, greedy bastards. And because of that, the promise of the Lord was given unto us according to Jacob. And even though we was once his brother, he has pure hatred for us and has given us violence. And the Lord said, for your violence, for your brother Jacob, go ahead.
Shame shall cover thee.
He's going to make shame come upon America. You can see it right now. It's so shameful right now. They got the lowest recruitment rate out of all these other nations. The Chinese got some of the largest armies. The Russians got everybody's trying to recruit to go into the Ukraine. Right. You know what I mean? The Iranians, you know, out there in Afghanistan, you know, they all ready, gearing up for war. America, they gonna have to re-implement that draft because guess what? They got barely no recruits. They police officers you wondering why you driving around the city of Chicago and you seen so many posters and so many recruitments talking about join the CPD, join law, join this, protect the blue. Because they're losing so many recruits. Right. Because the Lord is bringing y'all to shame right now. He bringing your economy to shame. He bringing your military to shame. They're having so many terrorist attacks in America. The Lord is showing, I'm bringing you to shame right now. I'm going to bring you down. And this is just the beginning of it. Go ahead.
Khan. And thou shalt be cut off forever.
The Lord gonna cut y'all off forever. When he lets this war bring out and nukes come and destroy this entire place, he's gonna let y'all be cut off forever. You're not gonna know what a white man is. You're not gonna know what a white man is. You wanna know why? Because of what he done to the Native Americans. He wanted to try to exterminate the Native Americans. The Lord's gonna exterminate him. He's gonna wipe him off the face of the earth. You're not even gonna know what America was. You're not going to know about Ben Franklin and Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and all these devils. You're only going to know about blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, a.k.a. the new rulers that are meant to be. Any more on that? Drop that. Give me... Give me Revelations. Which one was that? Let me see. It was Revelations. 1 second. Revelations. Do we got any questions online while I'm getting this? We good.
Laws.
Oh, sweet. Give me Revelations. Damn, just had spot. 11 and 8.
Okay.
They were Revelations 11 and 8, man. But we're bringing out all these scriptures, man, to show you we have no place to celebrate America's holidays, such as Columbus Day, aka they're trying to call it Indigenous Peoples Day now. We got no place to celebrate Thanksgiving. It's just not what we're here for, man. Now they're trying to call it Native American Heritage Month, man. Don't be here for that, man. Don't fall for the lies and the disgust. They're trying to paint over what they did. You know what I mean? That's what you got to realize. Them taking a day like Columbus Day and slapping just a stamp, a Native American stamp on it, does not give them the right to keep celebrating this day. This is a day that should be brought down, that should never be. And I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to tell you the truth. They're never going to do that. They will always find a way to celebrate their holidays. They'll always find a way to celebrate what they want. You know what I mean? They is trying to paint over it by saying, oh, okay, now it's called Indigenous People Day. Now, not Thanksgiving, it's Indigenous Heritage Month. You know what I mean? They trying to find ways that they can still celebrate their white pride and they live in their country without you bothering them. That's pretty much it. So what you got to do as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is leave their holidays alone. Don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
That's right.
You get off Thanksgiving, that's fine. Kick it out the crib. Don't go out and get you the cranberry sauce and that nasty turkey and the dry. I don't know what they eat at Thanksgiving. What they eat?
Collard greens.
Collard greens.
Ham.
Don't do that. Especially don't eat no ham. Don't eat no pork. Don't eat none of that, man. Go eat a cold sandwich. Go eat a salad. Go eat a chicken sandwich. Chicken salad. You know what I mean? Show them that you are not participating in anything that they deem, loving and worthy and all this garbage, man. You know what I mean? Show them that today isn't their day. Show them your days belong to the Lord. Like the Feast of Tabernacles is Wednesday. That's a holy day for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Be there.
Right.
Don't be at Columbus Day. Be at the Feast of Tabernacles. Be at the feast, honor the Day of Atonement that we just went through, man. Or be at the Passover, which is in Atlanta this year. Show them that you are standing not for them, but standing for your own people. That's how we're gonna do it. Be proud to be Native. Be proud to be a Black, Hispanic, and a person here in this day and age. Because right now they want to exterminate us, like they've been exterminating us, or they've been trying to, I should say. You got that scripture, brother?
Come, sir.
Go ahead, read it for me if you could.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Well, Sly, read that one more time.
Khan. Book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 8.
Go ahead.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street, man. When Native Americans were here in the Americas, Christopher Columbus came. They said by the time Christopher Columbus was done, it's a book I forgot to bring today. One of my favorite books called The American Holocaust. Talk about how many Native Americans died at the time of colonization just here for the Americas, right? They said during the time Christopher Columbus first came to the Americas, just his time period, when he first came here, they said the amount of people that died in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that was about 10 times over what he did. So the amount of people he killed here in America was about 10 nuclear bombs. So imagine you nuking America 10 times with the bombs dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That based what Columbus did. And you gotta remember, he ain't have no real guns like that.
Right.
He was straight slaughtering, murdering. They sword deep in the throat, slaughtering. He came here to put these people in subject, and we got that as well in the Book of Black Indians, where he says he wanted to make these. He wrote back to the king and queen of Spain, saying these people will make great servants. They're so subtle, they're so kind and friendly. He said this: there's no better nation on this earth. We gotta make them work. We gotta put them as slaves. That's what he said to them. We showed them brotherhood. We showed them love. And he said, you know what? These will make great slaves. That's what he did. He brought over he went back to the king and queen of France. They gave him a whole nother fleet of men, came out here and enslaved these brothers and sisters.
Right.
Raped their women, put brothers and sisters that wanted to live, put them in camps, in encampments, man, where they guess what? They got enslaved. They got enslaved. Yeah, Native Americans were enslaved.
That's right.
Not only that, they were sent through the transatlantic slave trade. In that book as well, the Black Indians, they got put on a voyage. They got put in chains, shipped back to the Queen of Spain, the King and Queen of Spain. Many of them shipped throughout England, France. That's where the transatlantic slave trade first started. Shipping all these Native American brothers in and out of the lands. One famous cat, I believe his name was Tonto, if I remember, or Squanto, or something like that. There's a legend about him bringing Native Americans and the Englishmen together because he was enslaved and he was brought all the way back to England and raised in England. He was a house servant. He was raised in England. And so he knew how to speak English. He had his hair cut. He damn near barely resembled a native at all. So when he came back to the Americas, they sent him over to go find his old land so they can invade him. Go look it up. I can't remember the brother's name was Squanto or Tonto, but he basically was a traitor. And they just like Thanksgiving, they painted that story as something beautiful that he brought the natives and the Englishmen together when he actually brought down his own people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And this is what the Lord is talking about. Their own dead bodies shall lay in the streets. How many Native Americans died for the conquest of this earth? I'm sorry, for the conquest of this land alone. How many Black Americans died for the conquest of this land alone? At least 100 million on the boat ride here.
Right.
We're not counting the lynchings and everything else. How many Hispanics? Over 100 million. And that just, as far as we know, Mexico, Guatemala, and all them. We're not talking all the other nations that were forced and subdued. All these other tribes that speak Spanish and have Spaniard ways. Why do you think that is? Because they were enslaved, dummy.
Right.
They were enslaved. Why do you think they got the last name like Gonzalez and Gutierrez? Because that was the name of their slave masters from years ago. The Spaniards enslaved them. You know what I mean? You think the mariachi and all that is their customs? That comes from Spain. They just do it so well. They just got a good flavor with it.
Right.
And now you think the Mexicans are better than that. Well, no, they just ran with it. Because that's what they was given.
That's right.
That's what you got to realize, man. There's any more on that? Go ahead.
And their dead body shall lie in the street of the great city.
Of the what?
Of the great city.
The great city. Of the great city of Chicago. Of the great city of South Dakota, North Dakota, of New York, Boston. They used to hang Native Americans from just like they did for Black and Hispanic men. They would hang them from tree poles and posts and from outside buildings so you could see their bodies rotting as trophies, man, of what they did to our brothers and sisters, man. They dead bodies shall lay in the streets of the great city. How many brothers and sisters, even in this day, get shot and killed by the police? A lot of people don't know that. A lot of Native Americans, they get viewed as just drug dealers and gangsters and thieves, so they get shot and killed just like any Black or Hispanic man.
Right.
They get police brutality on them just like any Black or Hispanic man. And you want to see if there's any difference between us? There is none. When we go through here on the reservation and what goes on in the ghettos is what goes on in the barrios, man. The only reason we fail to realize that is because we fail to get the oppressor's shades off us. His lenses that he has put on us through indoctrination. We got to remove that, man. We got to remove that. We can't love everybody. We can't love the white man. He's not going to love us back. We can't love the Chinese. We can't love the East Indians.
Right.
We got to love Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans because they know the exact pain we go through. Any more on that? I'm gonna drop that. You got anything you want to pull?
Yeah, come,
Usher.
come.
Look at Usher, all right, man, with the scriptures.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 20. Salaki. Pull it up. If I could, sir.
Go ahead, brother.
Pull this for you. For a precept of what you bringing out.
Did Ecclesiasticus?
Come.
12 and 20?
Come. No, so like 12 and 10.
Oh, okay.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
Khan. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Look, I understand, man. I understand everybody's pain and gripe as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You want to call it a truce. You want to say, all right, man, we can call it Indigenous People Day. We can call it, a Native American Heritage Month. I get it. Y'all want to stop fighting. Y'all want to be able to live at peace with this man, but you can't. This man's a blood-sucking, thirsty vampire. And he's not going to be satisfied until every last ounce of blood from us is drained and slaughtered, and us as a people is wiped off. Our culture is wiped out.
Right.
You can't trust your enemy because, like hate and iron, it rusts. It rusts away. It's going to do away with you. It's going to be your destruction. So for him, his hatred not to get to you, you can't trust him. You can't love him. I'm not saying you can't have a white banker, you can't have a white lawyer, whatever, man. That's business. When it comes down to white people, don't have them as no friend. When it comes down to white people, man, don't dwell with them. Don't sleep with them. Get you a Native American woman. I know she hard-headed, but hey, man, put her in place.
Right.
I know a black and Hispanic woman is hard to deal with, but hey, tell her how to live her life. That's what a man will put here for, the guy to lead his woman, man.
Right.
I know it's hard, but don't you ever go and get you a damn white woman. Well, a black woman, a Hispanic woman, Native American woman, I know brothers can be hard to deal with.
Right.
I know we're not the easiest in the world. I know I'm one of them. But guess what? You better pick one of us, but ever you pick a white man.
That's right.
A Chinese man, an East Indian man that don't got nothing to relate or love about you.
Right.
All they see is a damn sex symbol.
Right.
And don't know the struggles you've been through. I know a black woman been through the same struggles I've been through.
Right.
A Hispanic woman is gonna understand my pain. A Native American woman is gonna understand my struggles. But these heathens are not gonna understand a word, anything about your struggle and your pain and suffering here in this place. Go ahead.
Khan. For as like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Go ahead.
Khan. Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching.
Now this is a perfect precept for what we're talking about right here. Right now, when he comes Columbus Day, now it's not Columbus Day, it's Indigenous People Day. He's coming humbling himself. I'm crouching. Look, you know what, y'all? That's right. It's wrong for us to call it Columbus Day. Oh, we're going to call it Indigenous Peoples Day.
Right.
It shouldn't be called Thanksgiving. You're right. So we're going to call the whole month Indigenous Peoples Month. We're going to call it Native American Heritage Month. How that sound, guys? Go ahead.
Khan. Yet take good heed and beware of him.
Now you gotta be aware of him because this man is cunning. This is a snake from the garden.
Right.
You know what I mean? This the brother. This the devil. Excuse me. This the devil, the deceiver of the entire earth.
Right.
You gotta watch who you're dealing with. This man is cunning. He's a good hunter. That's one thing Esau is good at is he knows how to set a proper trap.
That's right.
You know what I mean? A good example is these elections. Right now, they trying to divide you between Trump and Kamala Harris. He's trying to show you one's being nice, one being humble, one's being your prideful, white self. One's planning like she's going to help the Hispanics and everybody else and the minorities. Even if they come to you crouching, man, be wary of him.
Right.
Keep your eye on him. You know what I mean? It's just like a cat you got beef with. Imagine you know a cat for a long time and you know you don't get along with him. And then one day he come up, man, yeah, what's up, bro? Yeah, man, I just, be wary of that cat. Unless he come to say, you know what, bro, I was wrong. Let's get this thing right. If he come and just, every day this man on dirt with you. But this one day, he out here talking like, yeah, man, we all cool, this, and that. You be wary of him. That man might just backdoor you. You know what I mean? Same with our oppressor. Go ahead, continue that if you could for me, brother.
Khan. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
And what?
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
You know what that means? No, you don't. Real one more time, my bad.
Khan. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
When you're going to be a target. You're going to be a clear target for him. You over here thinking he crouch and humble himself so he can be humble and wise. Look at me. The whole time he's letting you draw closer to him so you can be his target. You can be his prey. Go ahead.
Khan. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
And you'll see him up and personal that he has been the devil that he has always been. He has been the true deceiver of the planet Earth, the one that has hated you and has hated your ancestors. Any more on that?
La, sir.
Right.
If I could, sir.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, sir, what happened with the Native Americans, I would say, would this be a precept to show Native Americans how they the real Hebrews and they the real Hebrew Israelites, how in the Bible when the Most High told us to don't make a covenant with them, lest they gonna not hold up to it. I think it was in the book of Exodus in chapter 34, and that's exactly what the Native Americans did. They made treaties. You know what I'm saying, with the so-called white man.
Exactly.
I got the scripture right here, sir.
Go ahead. Get it real fast.
Khan, sir. Pull it up on the screen so everybody can check it out too. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34, and verse 12.
Oh, you good.
Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee.
This is an excellent scripture for that, because us as Israelites, I went over earlier, us as Israelites, man, the problem with us is we want peace.
Right.
When we can't have peace with these people. I'm not telling you to go bomb them or kill them, or go with an AK-47 up their head. That's not what I'm telling you.
Right.
But you can't have peace with this man. You can't make treaties and covenants with him. He's not going to honor that. The Native Americans made over 147 peace treaties with these devils, and they broke every one of them. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to end it with this. This is one brother, man. I love reading his books. I love watching his documentaries. His name was Chief Red Cloud. Chief Red Cloud was famous. You ever seen Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee? It's a good movie. You should check it out. It's about the Gaddite brothers and them fighting wars with the oppressor and how they got indoctrinated.
What was that movie?
Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee.
Come on.
That's about the Wounded Knee incident. It's a great movie. But in the movie, and then who Chief Red Cloud is he's a brother that was fighting a resistance against our oppressor. During the time while everybody was making treaties, he said, I'm not going to sign a treaty because he wanted to move. The white man wanted to move people off of lands and send people into schools. That's when we were getting our hair cut off and having to learn English. So he was like, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
You know, while everybody was already making treaties, he's like, I'm not signing it. Y'all right. And he told them in the movie to show, y'all made so many different treaties with us. I'm done making treaties with you. And there's an interview what they did with Chief Red Cloud. They was like, you know, man, you still fighting this war. You still fighting against this man. You not scared that he gonna come murder you. Like, you know you're gonna lose.
Right.
Like why still fight? He said, you know what? I'd rather die as an Indian than live one day as a white man. He said, kill me like this. Damn right. Most times pray. And that's the spirit we all need to be in. We gotta be, man. You gotta kill me as who I am. This is who I am. I'm my race. I'm my brothers. I'm this. I'm a Black, Hispanic, and Native American. I'd rather die as this than to conform to your ways, man. And that's how we gotta get back into the spirit of. And that's the spirit Commanding General Hana teaches us to be in the ISUPK.
That's right.
You got any more? We good to go.
Yes, if you don't mind,
Let's go.
you dropping it so heavy, you bring these scriptures out better than I can.
Sorry,
I just wanted to go and see if I can also use this scripture for the Native Americans. The book in the 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
Verse 17. Too, so I just want to see if I can use this.
Nah, you good. You good.
All right. 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. It says, this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 17. It says, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, said the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
This is a perfect breakdown. That's a perfect scripture to use for that.
Come.
That one, the other one that says come out of her in Revelations, that's a good one too. All those separate scriptures. That's everything that, like, the same way you break it down for a Black man is the same way you break it down for Native American brothers and sisters, because we, like I said, we teach in the ISUPK, Native Americans, Black people, Hispanic people, we suffer from Stockholm syndrome.
Right.
We've been beaten up by this oppressor so much. Like, imagine, I hate to compare it as that, but like, imagine a domestic abuse victim, a woman that's getting beat by her man all day. She just wants him to love her. Right. You know what I mean? She wants him to stop going up his head.
Right.
You know what I mean? She believes, if you talk to him, they'll tell you, I can change him. I can do this. You can't change this nigga. His thing is going up your head. Like, that's what he loves. He loves beating you.
Right.
You know what I mean? He loves seeing you go and be in harm's way, one way or another. So that's the same way with America. So we got to learn this to separate. We got to learn to leave this man. We got to learn to leave America where it needs to be. Because America been whooping our behinds for 500 years.
That's right.
Since Columbus, since everybody else, since they came to this land and started doing this to us. So everything you bring out for our brothers and sisters, you can apply it to the Native Americans. You know what I mean? Because we the same exact way. You know what I mean? Like, we was talking to these brothers in powwows. Shout out to the brother Raj Krab. We're going to get these interviews out for y'all on all social media platforms. But, even when we was interviewing them, they was still trying to hold on. Like, we could sit together, as brothers and sisters, and we can join with these people. Like, you can't join with them. Right. They don't want to join with you. Right. You know what I mean? And once you get that, and that's why I thank the Lord for the ISUPK, because Commander General Hana taught us that. We can't sit down with these people. They don't have no want or need to sit down with us. They despise us. We want to because we want to stop getting beat.
Right.
We want to live through a traffic stop. That's why we want to sit down. I completely understand. We want to sit down with them because we want to be able to live. We want to be able to breathe.
Right.
But we can't, man. And you're not going to be able to do it while you keep trying to love him. The only way you're going to be able to truly live is like Chief Red Cloud said, man, you got to be willing to die an Indian.
That's right.
You got to be willing to stand on your own and love your own, man. And that's what we're going to do up in here. Any more you had, or we good?
That's it, sir.
All right, with that, we're going to pass the class to Precinct Officer Asha I. Shalom.